It was one of those late summer evenings, the kind where conversations stretch into the night, where every word seems to reveal something hidden. Jake had been out with Maya a few times now. He liked her a lot, but he couldn't shake the feeling that, somehow, she was observing him, watching for something beneath his words. And he was right. First, Maya would subtly mention an old friend or a guy at work who was always checking in on her. She'd watch his reaction carefully. Jake felt a slight pang but reminded himself to stay calm. He knew showing jealousy now would only make him seem insecure, and that wasn't who he was. Instead, he leaned back, smiled, and simply asked, "Does he make you laugh as much as I do?" Then came another moment, a little deeper into the evening, where she tested his patience. She seemed to be moving at her own pace, not quite rushing into things. Jake felt the urge to move closer, to seal this connection with a moment, but he caught himself, respecting her pace. Instead, he kept their conversation alive, showing that he was interested in more than just the physical. Maya noticed he wasn't desperate, and that only intrigued her more. As they talked, Maya began to ask about his work, his passions, what he did with his time. She listened intently, nodding, but she wasn't looking for facts. She was feeling out his confidence. Was he passionate about what he did? Was there a spark in his eyes? Jake didn't brag or list his accomplishments, but his quiet confidence came through, and she could feel it. She saw that he was a man with his own direction, someone who didn't need anyone's approval. Throughout the evening, she'd sometimes go quiet, looking away or seeming a little distant. Jake noticed, but instead of asking if something was wrong or worrying about what he'd done, he kept steady. He didn't chase her moods but gave her space to come back to him. When she finally leaned back into the conversation, it was with a deeper warmth, sensing that he wouldn't be shaken so easily. Maya loved a good joke, and at some point, she teased him, poking fun at his shirt choice. Jake laughed it off, playfully firing back with a joke of his own. She loved how he didn't take himself too seriously. He could laugh with her, enjoying the banter. Later, Maya threw in a small request, something simple. "Can you hold my purse while I go to the bathroom?" Jake could feel it a small test, but he didn't feel the need to do everything she asked. He simply smiled, said, "You got this," and playfully nudged the purse back to her. She smiled to herself, knowing he wasn't afraid to say no and stand his ground. As they headed out, she began suggesting where they should go next, slipping into a slightly commanding tone, but Jake had his own idea. He confidently led her to a cozy cafe down the street, taking charge of the plan. She was impressed. He was willing to lead without being overbearing. Finally, while sipping her coffee, Maya leaned forward and asked, "So, what do you actually want out of this?" It was a subtle way to see if he was only after one thing, but Jake met her gaze with genuine interest, talking about his goals and his interest in really getting to know her. As the night wrapped up and she finally looked at him with a soft, approving smile, Jake knew he'd passed her quiet tests. The spark between them felt real, and as they walked into the night, he knew that this was only the beginning of a deeper connection.